What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. So we actually got some breaking news just a short while ago that I want to bring to your attention. First, it has to do with the debt ceiling. This is actually going to be really good news. It's actually going to help pass that soft infrastructure bill. That's that free community college, the child tax credit extension, Medicare expansion, and things like that. So it's all really good news, and this is actually coming from the top. This is coming from the top Republican right now. That is Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell. Here's what we know. Over the last few months, Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell has stated that Democrats should raise the debt ceiling, and they should do it now because they will have to do it on their own. Well, Democrats waited and waited and waited. Well, now we are just 12 days away from that X date, which is expected to be October 18th. Now, here's the problem. If we got closer to this X date, first, the stock market does not like this. The stock market usually tumbles when we hear bad news regarding the debt ceiling or even the stimulus package. So right now, what we are seeing is actually good news because Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell, he's actually coming forward and giving Democrats a way out. Here's the good news, okay? Yesterday, President Biden, he came forward and said that he would consider changing the rules surrounding the filibuster for a one-time vote on the debt ceiling. Well, Democrats say they are not planning on using the reconciliation in order to pass the debt ceiling. So why is this good news? This jockeying for position, this public negotiation that we pretty much went through, well, that actually pushed business leaders to call on the GOP, get directly in touch with Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell, and push him to actually provide Democrats with another option. Here's the option. Just a short while ago, and this is the breaking news, this is so big. I didn't expect this to happen. I mentioned this, I think about a month ago. I don't know if I mentioned it on a video, but I was thinking there's no way that the GOP would do this, and there's no way Mitch McConnell would sign off. But Mitch McConnell is the one that came up with the idea. Today, Senator Mitch McConnell said he would support increasing the debt ceiling for a very short amount of time. He would do this to help out Democrats. However, in order to do so, a new debt ceiling would have to be set. That limit would have to be set. So he's not open to suspending the entire debt ceiling for a short amount of time or until December of 2022. He has a limit. We don't know what that limit is just yet, but he said, and I quote, "To protect the American people from a near-term Democrat-created crisis, we will allow Democrats to use normal procedures to pass an emergency debt limit extension at a fixed dollar amount to cover current spending levels into December." So that's what he's offering. He made it clear that he will do a certain dollar amount, okay, set a new level, but this will only go until December. We're in October, it's October 6th. The October 18th is the X date. So the expectation is we're gonna see this actually pushed back for 2 months. And here's the reason why. Business groups made it clear they were getting very nervous about what was going on. The stock market is on a wild ride. It goes up and down. It's crazy what happened today. Okay? And if you're not investing in the stock market, now might be an incredible time to do so. Okay? I'll put a link down in the description box below. You can go and sign up. You can join Webull. Webull is a platform that I use every single day. Great platform. You sign up, deposit just $100. They'll give you 2 free stocks valued up to $1,850. So make sure you go sign up today so that you can go and get your free stocks. Now, business groups were a little bit nervous. Okay, granted, the stock market goes up and down, but it was because they called the GOP directly and asked them to provide an additional option. What options do you have? How can we fix this? That's exactly what Mitch McConnell did. He fixed the issue that Democrats were having because in the past, Democrats said we will mint a $1 trillion coin. However, a lot of them were like, well, that's kind of just playing a trick. and it's just another gimmick. It doesn't really work. It's actually going to hurt the reputation of the United States. We could do it, but it doesn't make sense. So that idea was pretty much scrapped. The other option was, well, let's put it in a reconciliation bill. Well, it takes too long. Okay. The next option was, well, let's just change the rules surrounding the filibuster. And I addressed this morning. That's an option. It's a legitimate option. The problem is, when do you, and because it would create an economic collapse or an economic disaster. Well, when do you how do you decide what would be an economic disaster? And that's what many experts were addressing this morning is, well, how do we determine where could we use this again? Where should it not be used? Because if it's done once, chances are it's going to be done again. This is not a one-time thing. So, according to Senator Joe Manchin, he said he actually didn't support that idea. And so then we're kind of back to square one. Well, this is where Mitch McConnell gave us another option. Says, well, let's just extend it 2 months. If we extend it 2 months, that means you can use the reconciliation option on this bill. But Democrats are thinking, well, okay, well, if we use a reconciliation bill, we only got one. So now, and here's the big news, now we can take the soft infrastructure bill, that stimulus package, combine that with the debt ceiling increase or suspension. I believe it has to be an increase, not a suspension. And if we take those two and put them together, we only have to pass one reconciliation bill. So that's the good news now, is the likelihood of this stimulus package coming through is much more likely today at this time than it was yesterday. That's good news. Here's some other news that you may not have heard of. This move by Mitch McConnell obviously gives Democrats more options. It gives them the ability to pass a reconciliation bill, which is exactly what they want to do. Well, according to reports today, this bill is going to cost anywhere between $1.8 and $2.5 trillion. We have now narrowed that gap even further. This means that Senator Joe Manchin and Senator Sinema have actually increased their offer to $1.8 trillion. And we know progressives have decided to come down off their $3 trillion mark, come down to 2.5. We will see how much closer we get and who's kind of, on the winning side of this. Because right now we don't know. Also, one of the reasons why, according to reports, Mitch McConnell did this is because this now gives Republicans a way out. Before, if Republicans didn't vote for a debt ceiling increase and we actually were very close to it, Democrats could have been like, you know what, especially during the campaigning of the upcoming midterm elections, they can be like, you guys did not help us one bit. We were days away from economic, calamity. And so now the Republicans are going to be like, well, we helped you. This is what we offered and it worked. And this is where we're at now. So that's one of the reasons why, is because it's going to help them get more votes, whether it's just from Republicans or Democrats, doesn't matter. Also, this now opens the door to see that $1.2 trillion hard infrastructure bill that Republicans actually support. This means that the government debt ceiling is going to be increased or lifted for a short time. We know that's going to help them pass the budget reconciliation bill, that soft infrastructure bill or stimulus package. So that's really good news there. But you had to get the debt ceiling figured out in order to get the soft infrastructure bill or the stimulus package. Once that is voted on and passed, then and only then can the $1.2 trillion infrastructure bill pass. So now Democrats have the ability to get all three of those things done. Again, we have a stopgap bill for the government funding for the fiscal year 2022. That was addressed, 2 weeks ago. So now all the things that Democrats wanted to get done are now starting to fall into place. So this is where things are turning out to be, pretty good as for today, because honestly, things are not looking great. This morning when I woke up, looking at the markets, like, wow, it could be a bad day. There's blood in the water. But now looking at it, it's like, all right, things are looking good. And checking it just now, let me sign into Webull really quick. Yeah, it's still looking good. The markets are still looking good. There's some things that are up and down. Ethereum, Bitcoin still up. Litecoin, Dogecoin's down, but you know, it is what it is. So still a good day to be investing. If you are not invested into the markets, you're not invested into cryptocurrencies or stocks, if you have $100, I'd recommend it's probably the time to put it in now, because we could see that run up. But again, just a word to the wise, if you are worried this is your last $100, don't put it into the markets. Maybe open up an account, just get ready to go, but do not put it into the market. Hold off, wait till you have some extra spending money, then put the $100 in. And again, you got a chance to get up to $1,850 in 2 free stocks when you sign up with Webull. So again, I'll put that link down in the description box below. Go and check it out if you want to. But I will be back on here later on today. I'm excited to see what lawmakers say and what Senator Schumer and President Biden both have to say after this news has come out. So again, I will be back on later today to fill you in on all the latest news and updates. Again, thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.